Yo, this is it. The hottest PlayStation Store deals dropping right now, and if you blink, you'll miss them. These prices won't stick around, so you better act fast. Seriously, don't be the one kicking yourself later when these games vanish or go back to full price. I'm about to break down the biggest steals of the month. Grab them while you still can. Metro Exodus is like diving into a dark, gritty novel where every chapter is tense and full of atmosphere. The game throws you into a post-apocalyptic Russia where survival isn't just about shooting. It's about feeling the weight of every decision and every step you take. The world feels alive and dangerous, almost like you're walking through a living, breathing story. It's not a flashy blockbuster, but it's one of those games that sticks with you because of its mood and detail. If you're into immersive shooters with a heavy story, this one's worth checking out. And right now, you can grab it for just $5, down from $29. That's basically a steal. Switching gears, Mortal Kombat 11 takes everything you loved about classic fighting games and cranks it up to 11. Literally. It's like being invited to the most intense fight club where every move has style and every combo feels like a mini masterpiece. The gore and finishers are as over the top as ever, but underneath all that, the gameplay is tight and rewarding. If you grew up watching or playing fighting games, this one nails that nostalgic feel, but with modern polish. And here's the kicker. It's also just $5 right now, down from $59. That's like getting front row seats to a brutal showdown without breaking the bank. Now, let's talk about Borderlands 3. Imagine you're thrown into this wild, chaotic sci-fi world where the main goal is just to blow stuff up and loot like crazy. It's like a crazy loot hunting roller coaster that never really takes itself too seriously, which is honestly part of the charm. The characters are loud and funny, and the guns, endless variety, like trying to pick your favorite candy in a giant store. If you want something that's fast-paced, goofy, and downright addictive, this is a solid pick. Normally, it's up there price-wise, but right now, you can snag Borderlands 3 for just $6 instead of $69. Seriously, that's wild. Next up is Judgment. This one's kind of like taking the classic detective noir vibe and mixing it with some seriously slick Japanese open-world action. You play as a private eye diving into a gritty crime story filled with twists and punches. The combat feels tight, and the side stuff, like investigating or playing mini-games, actually adds to the mood instead of just being filler. It's got style and heart, and it's way more than just a typical action game. Judgment's usually almost $40, but right now, it's down to $9. So if you're into crime stories with some punch, this is definitely worth a look. Red Dead Redemption 2 is like sinking into an epic Western novel where every detail, from the dusty trails to the crackling campfires, feels so alive it's almost cinematic. You play as Arthur Morgan, a guy caught between loyalty and survival in a fading outlaw world. The story's deep, the world's massive, and the gameplay balances slow, thoughtful moments with tense shootouts. It's not just a game, it's an experience that sticks with you long after you put the controller down. Normally, it's pretty pricey, but right now it's down to $14 from $59. That's a solid deal to ride into the sunset. Now, The Outer Worlds is a sci-fi RPG that's like a fun, quirky space road trip with a dark sense of humor. You get to explore strange planets, make choices that actually matter, and encounter some seriously memorable characters. It's less about epic battles and more about story, dialogue, and sneaking. Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered is like stepping into a movie where you're the star swinging through New York's skyscrapers. The game nails that feeling of freedom and fun, zipping between buildings, pulling off slick combos, and just soaking in the city vibe. The story's solid, the characters feel real, and the gameplay never gets old. It's the kind of game that makes you want to drop everything and just swing around for a bit. Normally, it goes for around $40, but right now, you can grab it for just $20. Not bad for a full-on superhero adventure. Then there's Resident Evil Village. If horror games were a haunted house, this one's the part where you start wondering if you'll ever make it out alive. It mixes creepy atmosphere with action and puzzles in a way that keeps you on edge the whole time. The setting's gorgeous, but twisted, and the story hooks you with its mystery and scares. It's perfect if you want a thrill without jumping straight into nightmare territory. It usually sells for $59, but right now it's down to $22. Definitely worth it if you're into horror with some bite. Persona 3 is like stepping into a Japanese high school drama, but with a twist. You're juggling everyday life with supernatural battles. It's part RPG, part social sim, where your choices and friendships and daily life actually affect how strong you get in the shadows. The story dives deep into themes like life, death, and what it means to face your inner demons. It's not for everyone, but if you're into story-rich games with a unique mix of school life and dungeon crawling, this one's a classic worth playing. Price can vary since it's an older title, but it's often available cheap or as part of bundles. Diablo 4 is like jumping into a dark, brutal fantasy world where every corner hides a challenge, and every fight feels rewarding. It's the kind of game where loot obsession hits hard, you're constantly hunting for better gear, and the gameplay loop just pulls you back in. The story's grim, and the world feels alive, with a mix of open-world exploration and intense dungeons. If you've played Diablo before, you'll feel right at home, but it also brings some fresh twists that keep things interesting. It's a big, sometimes overwhelming game, but that's part of the fun if you're into deep RPGs. Price-wise, it's usually at full retail, but discounts happen as it ages. Helldivers 2 drops you into this wild, chaotic co-op shooter where teamwork isn't just helpful, it's survival. Imagine running into battle with your friends, dodging explosions, and wiping out alien threats while laughing at how crazy it all gets. It's got that old-school shooter vibe, but with modern polish, making every firefight feel intense and rewarding. If you love playing with friends in chaos, this one's worth a look. Price-wise, keep an eye out because it usually sits around full price. Right now, it's only $31. But be warned, you might never come back. This is the game that when you get into it, you'll spend easily 500 hours in, and the best part? You don't need to spend $1 in war bonds on armors. You can grind and pay everything with in-game currencies like super credits, which you find on planets you drop in. And here's the fun part. It never feels like a grind. Every match you'll play, every operation you take on will be unique. A Way Out isn't just a co-op game. It's the co-op game that proved storytelling and teamwork could hit just as hard as any big-budget blockbuster. Before Hazelight Studios gave us the award-winning It Takes Two and this year's viral hit Split Fiction, they dropped this gem. And honestly, it still holds up. You and a buddy play as Leo and Vincent, two guys stuck in prison with very different personalities and one shared goal: break out and survive on the run. What makes it so special is how the game constantly shifts perspectives, splits the screen, and throws you into moments that force real teamwork. One of you's distracting a guard, the other's sneaking tools. One's having a heartfelt conversation, the other's picking a lock. It's cinematic, emotional, and full of surprises. And let's not forget that ending. No spoilers, but damn, it hits different. Right now, it's only $9. That's a crazy good price for a game that basically laid the groundwork for one of the most creative studios in gaming today. If you haven't played it yet, now's the time. Grab a friend and jump in. You won't regret it. If you jumped into Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, and had no clue what was going on, or maybe you just want to know where it all started, this is your shot. The first Kingdom Come is where it all begins. You play as Henry, a blacksmith's son who gets thrown into a violent, chaotic world after everything in his life falls apart. It's grounded, it's brutal, and it doesn't hold your hand. The combat takes actual skill. The story's full of drama and realism, and the world, it's as immersive as they come. No spells, no dragons, just you, your sword, and a whole lot of consequences. And right now, it's only $7. That's pocket change for one of the most unique and underrated RPGs out there. So, if you're diving into the sequel without playing the original, fix that. This is the perfect time to start where it all began. For anime fans, especially Dragon Ball lovers, this one's a no-brainer. Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot isn't just a retelling of the classic saga. It's an open-world action RPG that lets you live through the story of Goku in a way no other game really has. Visually, it nails that anime-to-game look with bold, colorful, cel-shaded graphics that feel like you're playing through an episode. And the combat, it's flashy, fluid, and full of those iconic over-the-top energy blasts, beam clashes, and transformations. But what sets it apart is the downtime. You can fly around the world, train, fish, collect ingredients, cook meals for buffs. It adds this slice of life feel that actually builds on the world we've seen for years in the show. When it dropped, it got a warm reception. Critics said it's one of the best ways to experience the full DBZ story, especially if you're a fan. Is it perfect?
No.
Some missions can feel a bit repetitive, and the open world isn't super dense, but it delivers where it counts: nostalgia, story, and style. And now, the full base game is just $10. That's wild. For the price of a lunch, you get a full-blown journey through DBZ, from Raditz to Boo, with all the over-the-top battles and emotional beats in between. If you've ever yelled Kamehameha as a kid, this one's calling your name. If you want to be ahead of all the gaming leaks and news, specifically PlayStation news, time for you to subscribe. And as always, a like on the video is very much appreciated.